When this video goes up, it is Friday, November 4th, and Infinite Warfare is finally here. Now, unfortunately, I did a pre-order through GameStop, so I've got to go pick up my disc, come back, download the necessary patches and updates, and then I can play. But as always, I don't want to leave you guys hanging, right? On the most recent Gray's Mail, normally I would save this for the Gray's Mail, but it is a topic that has came up over and over and over again for probably the last 4 or 5 months. And it's a topic that I think about all the time, a topic that has blessed my channel and that I'm asked about regularly. And it's this, and it was brought up by Tabby and Crimson Sapper, and it's why do big channels on YouTube not help out small channels? And why do big channels not have community channels like Thunderstruck Gaming? And I think about it too. So what I did was I sat down and I pre-recorded a commentary on it. I do this occasionally, you know, when I have some ideas in my head and I just want to get them out and then I can go back and I can polish it off. Well, after I did my idea run through, I kind of liked it. It's not perfect, but I think I liked how it came out overall. So I decided to do a quick intro for you, and then I'll let you listen to the answer to the question, which I think you may actually like. Now, I'm going to be playing a lot of Infinite Warfare. I'm going to be trying out COD 4. I'm a little shaky on COD 4 because I talked about it in one of my streams where it's like 50-50. Some people think it's great. Some people think that it's awful the way it's playing because there's so many vets who are taking advantage of all the glitches and the spawn nades and the noob tubes and the setups. And so I'm going back and forth on it. I'm going to be primarily focusing on Infinite Warfare. I hope the game plays great. I got my hopes set high. I hope you guys are pumped about it too, and I'll mix in some Battlefield. So, as always, stay tuned. I think you'll like this question, and I hope you like the way that I answered it. Quick video. Something I wanted to talk about. Got asked this question a bunch on a previous Gray's Mail. It's something that I think about on a regular basis. And it goes like this. It's a twofold. What do you think about big YouTubers shouting out small YouTubers, and why don't more big YouTubers do community channels? And I can speak to it on both sides. The first one, the reason why most of them don't do it is because it creates competition. That's one. The second one is because you feel as though that other YouTube channel hasn't earned the right to do it. Or maybe that's how they view it, because they've put in the time and the effort and they built up this channel with a huge following. They get the views and they get the subs, and they just don't want to give that to somebody like an entitlement. They want you to grind it like they grinded it. And I'll put it in perspective for me. I've been on YouTube for over almost a year now. I've uploaded over 450 videos, and it has been a grind day in and day out. And then I get contacted by these small YouTube channels with under 100 subs who've done maybe 10 videos, and they have this idea and they want me to work with them on it. And I look at them like, listen, I have no problem working with you on it, but why don't you do 150 videos and grind it out for the next 6 months to 9 months and then come at me? And we'll see how your channel's grown and that you're really serious about this, because I'm not just going to give it to you. And I think that's the reason why a lot of them don't do it. Now, I have YouTubers who follow me and I follow them back, and we talk on a regular basis and create a little bit of a relationship. I watch their stuff, give them ideas and comments. They watch my stuff and give me ideas and comments. And after a while, if I feel like they deserve it, and I know the word deserve is wrong, but if I feel like they need or should have more exposure, I shout them out. And I do it pretty regularly on a weekly basis. I've shouted out so many channels. And sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. I found a lot of the times once I shout somebody out, they end up biting me back and they cut ties with me. And I don't know if it's because they expected to get more growth out of the shout out than they did, or maybe they feel like it's the end of the relationship, they got what they wanted from me, so they're moving on. But it is kind of shocking. I would say probably 25% of the channels that I've shouted out have ended up turning negative on me and cutting ties with me. And it just leaves me shaking my head like all I did was try to help you out. And I also will play with other YouTubers, smaller channels than myself for the most part. And the idea on that is to create a relationship. I'll put them in live streams with me. I'll talk about them in videos that I use the gameplay where I played with them, just to show people like, hey, I play with other YouTubers. You guys go check them out. I'll link them in the description. And I do see why a lot of large channels don't do it. I think they probably learned their lesson when they were smaller before you knew them. And they probably went through the same thing that I did. A lot of it though is, you know, the whole entitled aspect where these smaller channels think that you owe them, or the way I view uploads in the beginning, it's like a school project when you're a little kid, like, you know, 8-10 years old, and you put in these hours doing something on your own without getting anything in return. And you make this video and you upload it to YouTube, and then 6 people watch it and you're like, what? I just spent 4 hours making this. I think it's really good. It's got good content, but nobody's watching it. And you do it a couple times, you're like, I deserve more exposure than this because my video is better than Drifter's. And so you start trying to feed off of these other channels to give you a shout out so people will come and watch what you're doing. That's not how it works, man. That's an immature way of viewing YouTube. If you really want to do YouTube, first off, you got to do it because you love it. You got to have a really good reason to be on there because it is a grind like no other. An average video takes an hour to 2 hours to create, some upwards of 10 hours if you really want to go in depth. You got to do it because you want it, not because you're expecting views or subs from it. And then you grind and you grind and you grind, and slowly but surely you start to gain subs and views, and maybe you get a shout out here or there, but you keep grinding. That's how you grow on YouTube. Sure, some guys luck out and they get some exposure from a video that goes viral or a big YouTuber picks them up and runs with it, but for the most part it's just a grind. And for you to post 10, 20, 30 videos and expect a channel with 2,000 subscribers to shout out your channel with 50 subscribers, and that guy with 2,000 subs has posted 300 or 400 videos, you got another thing coming to you, man. It's not fair. It's almost like a socialistic viewpoint of YouTube, where a big channel must, because of their size, shout out a smaller channel. Now, I will say that I think more large channels, much like Thunder did for me and for Mr. Tracky, should shout out small channels that have grinded, put effort into it, corrected their errors, create better quality than they did, have good commentaries and good stuff to show. I think they should be shouted out, and I think large channels should do community channels like Thunder does, because it creates a community and an atmosphere. So I don't know, you guys tell me what you think about it. As always, if you enjoyed the video, hit that thumbs up button, leave a comment down below, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe, because I'm here every day.